And we're live. And we're live for another episode of Slaaap Haaapy. That's right, we're here. We're doing it. I'm doing it. I'm the guy who's doing it. And look, we put one in the bank last week, and I thought, fuck it, let's keep rolling. So this episode is similar to last week in terms of the fact that this isn't a straight up, me presenting my ideas and thoughts in an original piece of content. I'm reusing a podcast that I was on recently, but I'm trying to share stuff with my audience that I find interesting, and they might find interesting as well. So this is a podcast I was on a couple of weeks ago with a couple of lads. The podcast is called Chat With Degens. No, Chat With Traders. Chat With Degens. Yeah. Anyway, the guys invited me on, Damon and Blake, and we had a little bit of chat about basically degenerate things. It wasn't as degenerate as I thought it would be. Obviously, I've done some very, very degenerate things in my life, and when they asked me that question, like, what's the most degenerate thing that you've done, I had an easy top 10 just sitting there ready to go, because that's not hard for me to draw on. But they were talking in a trading sense, and yeah, look, there's been a lot of like over trading and gambling and stuff like that, but it hasn't been anywhere near the degree that I've experienced in my previous life. So that was nice to not have to disclose all of that. Although there's a part of me that just finds some of the stuff that I've done in my life pretty funny. So it's hard for me to I felt shame about it at the time, but I don't anymore. I just kind of look at it and go, well, it's pretty funny. And a little bit silly, a lot silly, but just funny. Can't do nothing but laugh at those things, So anyway, this is a chat with them boys. We talk some serious stuff, but not really. It's kind of just us having a bit of a laugh and talking about degenerate things, and yeah, it's a good chat. So have a listen. This is Chat with Degenerates, or Chat with Degens, with Damon and Blake, and yeah, I hope you like it. All right.
Hey Sav, mate, nice to meet you.
Sav,
Nice
what's
to meet
happening?
you too. Hey,
What's going on? How was the week?
The week was okay. Ended on a fairly sour note today, but
that's upsetting, bro.
Oh no! And you're like, fuck me, I'm gonna have to go on these wankers podcasts. It was the last thing you want to do.
It's honestly like I had the same experience last week when I jumped on this podcast called Trolling with 10 Baggers. Like, I absolutely dusted myself in the morning on Novonics, just trying to short it, and just blew up, and then and it was so shit because I knew I had to go on their podcast later in the Arvo and talk about like trading mindset and trading and like mental health around trading. And it was actually kind of like a good thing though, because I honestly was like in a pretty low place throughout.
Was it like a bit therapeutic, kind of like they're just, Sav, it's all right, don't cry.
In a way. It was in a way it was actually pretty good, because I got to, because all the emotions that I felt on that day, I got to like I was feeling them firsthand, and I got to like relay them to the guys and kind of talk through it with them, and I think it was kind of like it worked out okay. So
honestly, think that's why like I would hate to just be in the whole trading kind of thing just like by myself. Like, it's always good to have somebody to like rant to, and like, because there's so much shit that goes on, and other people just don't really get it.
Yes, 100%. You definitely need those outlets.
Yeah, I feel like the Friday is always the worst day to have like a loss, because like on Monday, I'm kind of like chasing the whole week trying to get my money back. I love to lose money on Monday. Monday's like my give back to the market, donating to the ASX, helping the young ones grow, right? And I feel like I still have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to get back at it. But come Friday, you're like, all you have is fucking nose beers and some dirty club to just, rave away your pain.
Honestly, it's a worse. You can't get up tomorrow morning and then like have another crack and try and get it back. Like I just gotta fucking stare at the wall for the next 2.5 days and wait until Monday morning where I actually get a shot of redemption.
do you just browse through like sports bet and like, fuck, those are good odds? Might just rip down a couple of G's on that, man.
Might get me even.
You go straight to the
You've always got to find
Friday night. Do you still go to the cast? Like, do you get on the poker still? Because you were talking about one of your podcasts how you were trying to go pro in poker.
So no, I don't play really anymore. Obviously, because casinos are basically being, all the poker rooms in casinos are basically being shut down since the beginning of COVID.
Oh yeah, true.
So,
true.
and that's what I did primarily. Like I played live cash games. I was never really a great tournament player. I was never really a great Hold'em player. Like I was an average Hold'em player. I was an okay live cash PLO player. And the only way to do that is really at the casino. So as soon as that stopped, I basically just stopped.
Full focus on the market.
I tried to play on, and like for me, if I'm not playing like live cash PLO, like I don't feel like I have an edge.
Yeah,
I feel like playing online PLO or playing live cash Texas or playing tournaments, like any of those other things, I don't have an edge in. So for me,
because there's so much more theory and stuff out there now that people can learn. Like it's tougher.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Very, very few people are green anymore. Like
yeah.
So
and the people
the easy money's gone. Exactly.
Yeah.
The easy money's gone. There was still some easy money though, like in PLO, like live cash PLO. There was still some easy money there because you would get like, kind of older Texas Hold'em regulars who like had played the last 10 or 15 years, day in and day out, just kind of like grinding away. They when PLO started popping off, they went over to PLO and they got really excited because now they've got 4 cards to play with instead of 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And because they got 4 cards, they think, well, twice as much opportunity,
twice as much fun.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, it was such a fucking trap for some of these guys because they would stick their money in going, oh yeah, all this opportunity.
Yeah.
But no, they would just kind of get beaten up by people who kind of knew what they were doing.
Yeah. So do you think the poker helped your trading? Like, because I'm sure there's a lot of similar attributes to like poker and trading in the sense that it's just kind of high probability bets.
Yeah, essentially. So there was a really good tweet that I saw yesterday by I don't know who it was. I might be able to see if I can see it right now. But I saw this tweet and I just thought this essentially encapsulates why I was presented with the opportunity to learn how to scalp or learn how to day trade. And basically so my buddy Nick, who I worked at the casino with like many years ago, he ended up becoming like a really good day trader, and he come to me one day and he said, hey, I think, with your skill, with your knowledge of poker and
I think I've heard, is that Nick Far?
Fabrio. Oh, we usually refer to him as Jesus. Oh God. But, continue. Sorry, I haven't really heard his real name.
Fabrio. Very funny.
Got you off course there, bro.
No, not at all. So yeah, he kind of he was like, look, I think with your understanding of risk and just understanding when to put risk on, I think that you would be good at day trading.
Yeah. They do have a lot of similarities.
And I think like this quote I saw yesterday, it was on Twitter. This lady goes, position sizing is everything in this game. You can have a great hit ratio, but if you're not loading the fuck up on the small percentage of the high conviction setups, you're never going to be in the Hall of Fame. 90% of this is a pillow fight. Go huge on the 5%. That's the game. And I reposted that straight away because I was like, I don't think enough traders actually get that. Like, I'm lucky. Like, there's a lot of things that I don't get about trading, but knowing when to get as big as I can get, or like as big as I can get within like kind of the risk reward matrix. Like I do understand when to do that, and it means that like even if I'm trading bad, I can have like one opportunity come along where I just know how to press.
It's definitely like the skill that like separates like you guys who are like the real good traders from just the average ones. Like it kind of is the degeneracy of trading. Like you can get that big. Like a lot of people just don't have the psychological aspect to actually be able to get that kind of size on.
Yeah,
which
totally.
Everybody's kind of working towards, but
like
you see a lot of guys on Twitter who are trading like 4 or 5 shares, getting a couple of ticks, which is good, but it's like you're not psychologically in the trade, so you don't even know how you're going to react once you actually size up.
Yeah,
totally. And I think like that, honestly, that is the whole game. Like, especially if you really want to, I don't know, like make a living out of this and like support a family and actually like grow your wealth and like build for the future. Like, I don't see how, like it helps to build confidence and like to kind of like to build out different setups and kind of understand, what your edge is. Like it obviously helps to do testing on small size. But at a certain point in time, you got to know like, all right, this is the opportunity to press. Like I'm only going to get one of these a month or maybe like twice a month. I've got to know that this is the one that I like fucking just balls to the wall. Like if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. But I know that I need to make the most out of this because the thing is, those are the opportunities that present outsized wins. And you really need them to carry your account. Because what happens is when the market's not there, like it has been a lot of the time in the last 5 or 6 months, when the market's not there, there's a lot of chop. Like everything kind of looks like an opportunity and you might get 1 or 2 ticks, but you also might not get 1 or 2 ticks. And you just chop yourself up. And what happens is like, you're doing all this chopping of yourself, right? Just because of the way that the market's presented. And then on top of that, you've got to pay commission. And that's where it really starts to fucking eat at your bottom line because now you're not, and especially if you're not having those outsized wins, it makes it hard to really strive.
That's like a thought I've kind of been having because, everywhere you see like risk management, right? Like what is risk management? And it's like, okay, I'm going to cut this after a few ticks, but it's like you cut it after a few ticks, you don't actually know you're wrong yet. And then you're just taking these small paper cuts and eventually they add up. But like, say somebody like you or, Fabrio, you have conviction in the trade where you can like really like, it might go, back a few ticks or whatever, but you stay in and then it goes. Like, I suppose.
I think the UW, like, so there was UWL.
Just like a few days ago.
The CEO.
2 days ago or 3 days ago. So UWL was a good example, right? I wasn't there to trade it on the way down, and I'm kind of glad that I wasn't. I was out doing something, and I came back as it was starting to swing. And so I'm kind of glad because I would have been so far offside. Like I knew, like I definitely would have been like trying to buy that like way earlier than it actually bottomed out at. And it would have been really hard to hold it, but you just know that when opportunities like that get presented, like, you don't have to take pain, but it kind of helps because all is like, all right, this is an anomaly. You don't know like how far it's going to go. You don't know how much pain you're going to take on. You just know that you've got to be in the trade because this is an anomaly. It's not going to happen every week. So I need to be in this trade for a day trader, right? And
it's a bit, It's kind of like MHK and like KNI, the past few weeks.
100%.
Like you get in, it might come back. You just got to stick to it because the odds are, it's going to come back. And it's going to be one of your biggest trades. It's just so hard. It's so easy to be spooked. Which is a lack of conviction.
It's been a bit more difficult with those ones because of the way that the bots are working, or like whoever's kind of like propping the bid. Like it makes it a bit more difficult to read that.
UWL you couldn't really prop. Like it's too big.
No, you couldn't.
It's too big.
I've never seen walls wiped that fast on a share like. On the tape, on UWL, it was wild. Like, there was just hundreds of thousands. It was crazy.
It was like anything under 370, it just lost its legs. It was like 370 to 340, like that. But plenty of time to get in before.
So did you get it on the way up?
Yeah, I took it like I got a little bit of it. But I was like in well late, and by the time I got in, it was like. I had to think about like how much further this actually got. Is this actually real news? Could this possibly get hold at any minute now?
Did you go in?
It took him so long.
Did you go in with full size, or was it kind of like just testing the waters, dip your toe in?
No,
little push.
No, it was like Yeah, I had a little 10,000 on. Just took like
just
out of it.
Just a little.
I took 7 ticks out of it. That's it.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
$100. Well, I
$100.
reckon we bang. Yeah, I reckon we bang onto some questions.
Oh yeah, go
right?
for it, Blakey.
So, what is the most degenerate moment you've had?
I'm
like
an
biggest loss, or maybe the most recent one?
Oh god.
Yeah, I'm sure you've got a few, mate. I've heard some of the stories on the old Slaaap
The
Haaapy.
Degen King, brother.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not.
You're up there. You're top 3.
Fighting for that.
You just have Chris all the way down here. He's just like the most disciplined man on planet Earth. I'm pretty sure he floats. I think he floats in his chair as he's trading. He's
Legit.
Like, don't take a loss over $200.
There's probably 2. Are we talking about trading or anything?
Trading.
Oh, trading.
Yeah.
Okay. In trading.
Was there something you're in a losing position? You just kept adding like fuck nah. I'm not wrong.
I think my PBH trade is probably the pinnacle of the craziness I've experienced day trading. So
yeah,
it was I traded PointsBet. God, I can't remember what it was. It would have been like October last year. And it might have even been earnings. Could have been August. Anyway, it's towards the end of last year, and they had like some pretty decent news, maybe like a new license or something like that, and it ended up gapping up something like 100%. It was like I think it was like something like it was something crazy. It was like the previous day it was like 560, and then it opened up at like $10.20 or something like that.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
So it was already up like a huge amount, and I just felt like for some reason I think I'd been having a like decent month, and I just felt like, all right, this is my opportunity to like really go to the next level in my day trading. So
it's got to go down.
Yeah, so I think I hit like 10,000 units at like 10.50 or something, because I waited.
It's thin as fuck as well.
Were you saying short or long?
Or was it not at the time?
Short. I hit it. So
trend.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it gapped up to like 10.20ish or 10.30, and then it popped a little bit, like maybe to like 10.50, 10.60.
Yeah.
And when I didn't see the bids like step up any further, I was like, all right, this could like collapse now.
100%.
So I got 10,000, or it was like 7.5 or 10,000 at like 10.50, and then it kind of went a little bit lower, and then it got to like back to like its open price around 10.20, and so I'm up like, I think it was like I was up like $2,500 on the trade or something, but I was like, nah, this is the trade that's going to make my year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy a Lambo.
Yeah. So I hit another 5,000 units around there, like 10 or 10 or something like that. And the 10 wall, so the 10 wall didn't drop. It kind of reloaded straight away, and then bid stepped in front of it, and I was like, I don't really like that. But I kind of I didn't process it quick enough, and basically what happened was that's when all the buyers like really stepped in, and it was so thin. Like I think I had like 10 or 15,000 units, but it was like literally like it'd be like 2,000, then it'd be like 10 or 15 ticks, and it'd be like another 3,000. Like it was literally so thin.
Yeah.
So as soon as it started getting lifted, I was like looking around for somewhere to get out, and I was like, oh my god, I'm in shit here.
Yeah, you're looking at the light.
And then it just kept going. It ripped up to like, I think it ripped up to like $12.
Holy shit!
Fucking hell!
I think it got real high. So I was like minus like 16 or 17 grand on the trade for like a couple of seconds. And then I added some like kind of near the top, and then basically it kind of fell back down to around 10. I got out for basically scratch. I might have lost $1,000.
Jesus Christ! I would have been calling mum, being like, "I'm moving back home." Like,
I think you almost need that though. Like, just the ability to even bring that back to scratch is like what we were talking before about. Like, that's impressive. Holy shit!
It was so stressful.
Yeah.
It's a weird.
Like, what did you do? What did you do after that?
Yeah.
Because I felt like I got out of what's that?
Blubber,
You
just
happy
shake
ending,
and
or?
cry.
I actually, do you know what? It was stressful for the first like couple of minutes when I was like, you know, when it got to like -5, I was like, oh god, this really sucks. Because I think I was only up like, so I think I was up about maybe 16 grand for the month, and then when I was like -5, and then I actually think this was like the second last day of the month as well. So when I was like -5, I was like, man, I've just kind of shot myself in the foot. Like I put a big dent in like what was a really good month.
I can't post this on Twitter.
Yeah, what the loss?
the monthly review. Yeah. You can't have the loss and ruin the monthly review.
Exactly, and that's what I was thinking about. Like I'm just totally toasting this month. But then when it kept going, I actually settled down. Like the worse it got, the more calm I got, because I just realized, like, you know, after you get through that initial kind of like jolt of oh my god, like once you get over that,
you get
like
some clarity,
little hump, you realize, you start actually like looking at the tape again, because for the first like 20 seconds, I was just like, my brain stopped working. But then I was like, all right, I'm in this trade. It sucks, but now I just got to make the most out of it. So that's when I decided, like, all right, I'm going to add. Then I added. It started falling. I think I might have added again, but then it actually ended up getting basically back to scratch. And yeah, it was just that first like 30 seconds where I thought, you know, it was the end of the world. After that, once you realize like what the potential damage is, and you kind of become okay with it, then you start actually trading the trade. And because you mentally, like, you know, once you start the trade, you think like, all right, this could be like a 15, 20K win. I guess you're not really thinking about the downside. So probably that was my mistake in that trade. I wasn't at all thinking about the downside.
Well, you can't lose on the stock market.
Exactly.
Doesn't exist, mate.
It doesnn't exist.
It's not a thing.
You just become a bag holder.
I'm just thinking. Yeah, pretty much.
There's winning or bag holding.
Well,
there's no in between.
Or bag holding.
Are you wearing a PointsBet jumper?
No. Yeah, they needed to send me one after that. They needed to send me a new pair of undies.
See, I feel like that links really heavily with what you're saying in one of your podcasts. You're mentioning that you had days when you're at the casino playing for, 15, 16 hours, and you played your best and you made your most when you were digging yourself out of like a 2 or 3K hole. And I think that really links with trading fearlessly. And I feel like you do better when you have that clarity and you trade without the worry of money. Because, you're down $5,000 and you're like, okay, switch on. What am I actually seeing? But for the first couple of seconds, you're like,
all the gambling addicts sitting at home like, oh, okay.
I'm just
added to dig myself a bigger hole.
That's what I'm doing.
Signing up for the FP account.
Yeah, legit, guys. I'll send you a referral link.
So you're saying I should be a day trader?
Damon 21. No, legit, legit. I feel like it's a very real thing.
That's a good point.
Because I was trading my best when I was earning my most back in October, November. I traded like a psychopath. And I made consistent racks, right? And, sometimes lost 1,000 or whatever. But when I was consistently trading, I had 1,000, 3,000, 17,000, 4,000 day. And it was great. But I'm not having that coming after my break, coming back to it, starting fresh. I wasn't hitting it like that. I was like, oh, -200 or -100. And it was consistently negative paper cuts because I couldn't handle the pain. But now I'm back to the spot of handling pain and earning some decent money these days. Nothing crazy, not like I was.
And being shit scared of spoofs.
I hate spoofs, bro.
What'd you say, Blake?
Being shit scared of spoofs. Like I see it on the order book, the line disappears. I'm like,
I know.
Get out.
Yeah.
Our first lesson of rug pulls was always the hardest. Yeah. Like when I first experienced a rug pull, I was like, oh, this is what heartache feels like. Corporate crime. Nothing like illegal activity.
Do you know what it was?
My first rug pull was CCR. When they first popped off.
Credit something.
Yeah, Credit Clear, I think. Haven't looked at them since. I lost $1,000 like that because of a rug pull. And I was like, oh my God, I just lost, 14 ticks instantly. It went from 77 to 70 like that. And I was like, fuck, I just lost all that money. I was like, quick, close my position because I was down 1.5K. And then literally a minute later, they came back and pushed it all the way back up to my entry. Yeah. So, it was a good lesson, but, more often than not, the rug pull will lead you. Hopefully you get out beforehand and then it just dies, Didn't happen in my case.
Yeah.
Fortunately came back, but
nah.
I was already gone with my negative 1.5K.
Yeah.
What was your other questions, Blakey?
What do we got to... Do you think you're still like getting better as a trader, or do you think you just kind of, I suppose you always get better psychologically, but
let me before I move on to that question, I just to the point that you just made a second ago, Damon. Like it's an interesting observation, and it's I think you'll find I don't really quite know why at the moment that is the case, but it's almost like it's almost like you make your life easier once you've already lost, or once you've blown up, or once you're already down on a trade. Your life just gets a little bit easier because you're now not thinking about all these like alternate universes and possibilities. You're now just focused on your job.
Yeah.
Like before you start, like you're filled with all the potential of what if and what this and that. And once you get into a position like that, all of that gets swept away, and you have to really come back to task.
Yeah.
Because your task and your job and doing your job as good as you can is the only way to get out. And it's surprising how often it happens that like before the ASX opens, brains everywhere, thinking everything, whatever. But then as soon as, and it happens especially in poker.
Yeah.
Whereas like when I was in that position, I just got clearer, and I actually played way better poker.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Like as soon as you get a loss on the day, you are just honed in. Like it's like you're on Adderall. Like you're just like, I need to make this back, and it's not necessarily you make bad trades, but like you're clicking the button when you're supposed to be clicking the button.
Yeah.
And that's not us saying that you should take Adderall to trade better, by the way.
Yeah, don't gamble, and don't gamble, kids.
Legit.
You could. I mean, whatever.
What were you asking before the question?
Yeah. So, am I getting better as a trader?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I don't know if I'm getting better, but I know that I'm nowhere near as good as I can be as a trader for sure. Yeah. No, there's a long way to go before I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface, to be honest.
Do you feel
there's too much emotional baggage?
Yeah. So do you feel like it's more based on an executing side of things? Like, I don't think this is a question, by the way, I'm just posing it as a statement. It's just like, I don't think you're still learning how to trade. I think you're just learning to get better at executing your trades. And obviously taking in the information of, okay, this is a setup I thought works, but now it doesn't, because obviously the market's always changing. So do you feel like you know everything you need to know, you're just working on execution, or is there more to learn? Like, that's something I'd be curious. I don't know if that's
no, probably a bit of both. No, probably a bit of both. Like there's situations like, I mean, today with the iron ore plays, like, I still don't really have my head around that and how that works. I mean, even if I did, I probably still would fuck it up because it seems like it's a bit of a cunt to trade. But there's always something you can learn, like, no doubt. Like I definitely don't think my knowledge is anywhere near it where it could be. I definitely don't think my execution is anywhere near where it could be. Like, there's a multitude of examples over the last couple of months where, like, I could have been bigger.
Yeah.
I should have seen the trade earlier.
Yeah.
I exited too quickly. Even today.
Yeah. Sorry, no, you keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, today, like, I short PDN at the open, and like I got as big as I have been in a while, and I just kind of, once it didn't go, like I kind of froze a little bit, and I didn't execute very well. Like I guess I didn't I didn't factor in the risk enough, and I kind of let it blow through like a few of my stops, and I ended up just kind of getting a bit baggy with it. So yeah, that stuff like that. That's all tape reading, and that's all execution. Like, and I feel like that's still, on a daily basis, it shows me that I'm not anywhere near where I need to be.
Yeah.
It's funny, because like the market, you can have all your fundamental knowledge in the world, but then the price action is just going to do whatever the price action wants to do. So,
well, that's the thing. I think today was a good example. Like PDN, like I was watching all the uranium plays. They all got like they all kind of copped a bit of a sell off after the open.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything crazy, but by the time it got to PDN, like Group 4, like DYL, Deep Yellow, that had like just puked through VWAP, and I once it got to PDN, I was like, all right, all the other uranium names have sold off after the match. Deep Yellow is now puking. They're all either holding lows or going lower. So I get pretty big in the PDN match, and that looks like it's going to go. So I start thinking about my like exit on the low side, and I didn't at all for a second think, all right, well if like 97.5 or 96.5 or 97 goes bid, what do I do? Am I holding this? Am I getting the fuck out? Like I didn't think about that at all.
You're already just counting your dollar bills.
Yeah.
I was already ready to like.
Yeah, legit.
Well,
you're already like, I've just made $3,000.
Honestly, if that trade would work today, this would have been my best week in probably like 5 months. So like I've had like a good week, and I was like really not only happy with like the money I've made, but the way that I made it. Like I've just traded really tight. I've just stuck to what I know.
Yeah.
And I was really happy with what I was doing. And then and I was I guess that's the thing though, like I only get as big as I did in PDN because of the fact that I've had a good week, and I'm like starting to build confidence.
Yeah.
And then obviously that kind of backfired on me a little bit.
Yeah, obviously you can't have 100% win rate. You know what I mean? Like eventually you're gonna have these losses, but honestly, I would have gone match short on that share. I'd match long. I don't know. The share's just been pulling back, and uranium's been exploding so aggressively. I'm just thinking, where does uranium crash? But I made a overnight hold on FMG, and I traded FMG earlier this week, and I found that the only ways I can make money on it is not on the intraday side. It's literally match or holding it overnight and hoping that, literally the bigger people, literally like hoping the retail investors come in and the big investors, and they see the long-term thing and they dump the big money. But on the intraday, I feel like no one knows where the share's actually going, because the share just does this and it'll either shoot up or it'll crash eventually. But on match and overnight,
it's really hard
to
trade.
Yes, FMG is not forgiving.
Large caps are a sieve. Yeah.
And I hate paying commission. Yeah. Commission just upsets me. Like I'll make some money, and Blake I'll see, I made $400, and Blake will be like, "You mean 360 because of commission?" You know what I mean? It's like he'll always factor it in for me and bring me back to earth. Thanks, Blake.
Invast, if you're listening, we'd love some lower basis points. Please. We might give you a little shout out of the pod.
Maybe. We talked so nicely about you already. The Invast boys are really nice. Like on the old Skype chat.
Oh, they're the best.
You could sweet talk them into getting you some shorts. I promised them a Zinger box if I held a AXE short overnight. And they're like, okay, you can hold it. And I'm like, okay, if I hold it overnight, I'll buy you all a Zinger box. And I didn't. But I didn't hold it, so I don't owe shit.
Bev, would you have got them? Would you have
100%.
Come through with the Zinger box?
100%. If I held it overnight, because what is that? There was 6 of them multiplied by $12.50. Easy.
Bro, there's not 6 of them. There's
100 of them per account.
I was getting a message call. There is 100 people on that Skype call, because you type and they instantly reply.
Good morning. Hi. Can I get shorts, please? And he's like, loading it now. I'm like, oh shit. But I think that's pretty good from a broker, because coming from FP Markets, they wouldn't give us lower basis points under 7 or 8 or something, and they wouldn't give us any borrow on anything at all. So FP.
Yeah, let's just start sledging FP Markets now. Let's make it a FP Markets hate podcast.
And Iguana Spark.
I can't join that party, boys. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
I'm not out here to
You're an FP boy. You're an FP boy. Wait, you're not in.
No, I'm with Invast.
Oh, okay. For reasons that will stay undisclosed.
Maybe. But I didn't mind my time with FP. I have nothing. Yeah, like I started there. Like they never did anything wrong by me, so I I can't personally say anything bad about them, but I have probably preferred Invast. Actually, no, I've definitely preferred Invast.
FP sitting there watching our potty, just fucking tears.
yeah,
literally.
Sorry, guys. Well, look, at the end of the day, like, you know, Invast provided a better product and
more competitive rate.
Like they
for us.
Yeah, it's like if you're a new trader, like you're going to take the 6 basis points or whatever it is at Invast rather than the fucking 9 or 10 at FP. It's just like, you know.
And look, the amount that I'm willing to pay FP markets, I thought they'd bring the basis points down, but apparently not. I like to donate to the ASX and commissions to FP, but they didn't want me, so I'll just stick to donating to the ASX.
See you later.
As long as you're on the other side of my trade, bro, you're making money. So true.
Well, anyway, I think I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest.
Yeah, that wraps it up.
Like,
that makes
take up too much of your time.
Real nice potty, and let you get into your Friday beers, mate, so you can forget about.
Yeah,
Friday.
what are you?
Oh,
up
that's
to?
it. No more question. I thought we were doing like a 2-hour extravaganza.
Bro, we're literally just in and out, so we don't,
we just
keep people too long.
You know, I feel like it takes a lot of energy.
One more question. We'll get deep here, right?
All right,
Hold on, 1 sec. Yeah, do you think like day trading's the one the last thing you're going to do career wise? Like, do you think that's it, or because I see you do your music and stuff? Is that the dream?
The dream is always music.
Yeah.
If an opportunity presented itself tomorrow that I could just focus on music full time, I would look. I probably wouldn't. Do you know what? It's a tough one because I feel like I really do like trading. I don't know if I'd I don't know if I'd be putting in the same hours. Let's put it that way. I probably wouldn't be doing like full-time hours day trading. I might like day trade a couple of days a week and then spend like 3 days a week on music or whatever.
Do you get like your deepest bars when you're in like a big drawdown?
Bringing the emotion out.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, I drink a lot when I'm in drawdown.
I drink a lot. I'm not in down.
Don't do that if you're in a drawdown at home. Don't do
that. Yeah.
Getting the weekend started right.
I definitely think I'm going to be like I'm not going to do another career. Like it's trading or music really. So it's the two things that I'm doing. I'm only going to do them like more and more throughout the rest of my life. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, that was a thing I was really interested in because I guess it's keen to see what other people's professional goals are. But, if you're doing so well at it, I think it's hard to ever sit at a normal corporate job and earn, $1,000 a week when you could really do that in a day trading comfortably more than that. And if you're Fabrio, you're 10 times that in a day. I think it's really hard to step away from the screens.
And more than that, to me, it's the freedom. Like it's the autonomy. It's the fact that like I can go. I can kind of work from home and then go take my dog for a walk at lunch and then be home when my girlfriend gets home after work and like all those things. And to be honest, I haven't made any money in the last 6 months. Like I've been fucking grinding my ass off. Yeah. And it's been really tough, but I still get up every day, loving going to work because I like it's mine.
For sure.
I wouldn't trade that for anything right now.
And I don't think people really get like the downside to it as well, in the sense that like how much it drains you just sitting here all day.
Holy shit.
Dead us, like you at the end of a week, like you ask me what 4 + 4 is, and it's 12.
Exactly.
Week 4 + 4 is 12 to you, brother.
Yeah, it always is. Nah, but like Dead set, it does take it out of you, and it doesn't seem like it does in the moment, but it just continuously.
Like it can be quite draining.
I worked till barely 10:30 today because I made all my trades. Like I finished FMG trade at 10:04, and I was like cheering. But mentally, I feel like I've worked a 9 to 5 because like I'm just so fried mentally. I need like a Red Bull to get me through the day because I'm just like, time to get faded this weekend and forget about it, and then get stuck in Monday. I'm just excited for Monday.
Yeah, 100%.
My computer's about to shut down. But Sav, it was really nice to chat to you, man. I'm sure everyone enjoys your insight, and it's good to get to know you through the potty. And we're really appreciative that you joined us today to chat, bro.
Yeah, thanks a lot for coming on. Yeah.
Thanks for having me, boys. Appreciate it.
Easy, man. See you later. Enjoy your weekend, bro.